Had he said 3,000 years, we would know we have one more 1,000 years to go. Had he said 2,500, we would know we have more time to go. How close we've got. Let me show you that timeline one more time and just explain three options. Remember, the rapture itself does not have a sign. In other words, it can happen anytime. Anytime. But we have a final place beyond which it cannot go. Yes. That's why I have those lines there for you. Could happen anytime. But then would have, had it happened somewhere here, would have had to wonder, what will be happening all this time? Because he will not return until after 2 days. You see that? So you'd have been wondering all those years after, what would have been happening? We don't know. But sure enough, it seems much more like somewhere here. Somewhere here. Because all this is already past. We're somewhere around here. Count it yourself. We said the other day, if you take that day when he walked out of the temple, as 30 AD, some have said 29 AD. I said if you take the range of 4 BC to 2 BC for his birth, somewhere you will come to the range of what we said. And if we're just taking an average and we come to 30 AD, 2000 from there will come to 2030. And from now, from 2020 to 2030 is 10 years. Which means that it cannot exceed 10 years before the man of sin is revealed. Because you have 7 years. Either after that, now here are the three options. 7 years, either after or within or across. Do you understand? If it is after, then you have, before he comes back will be 7 plus 10. That's 17 years. Before Jesus comes back. 7 for the tribulation. 10 years before the Antichrist shows up. You see that? So 17 years in all, and Jesus shows up. If it is after. If it is inside, you have 3 years before he shows up. If it is across, you have 6.5 years before he shows up. But because 2020 has gone past 6 months already, you're in September, that means you have just 6 years. Which means, if it doesn't happen in 3 years, might be 6. If it doesn't happen in 6, cannot exceed 10.
Yes, sir.
Cannot exceed 10. There have been lots of speculations by different people before. And if you have followed carefully the scriptures that I've showed you, you will understand immediately why it didn't happen when some thought it would. Okay? Because I gave you several scriptures. And I gave you evidences from his teachings and also direct prophecies for you to understand It's 2,000 years. And obviously, the 2 days were not 2 24-hour days. They were 2,000. And the third one was 1,000. Because 3 days passed after the prophet spoke. And of course, the prophet knew that was not the time. You know. Yeah. So you look at the word, and you have more than enough evidence. More than enough evidence. How short the time is for us to do all the things we got to do. And it will let you understand why these guys, they say 2030 is the year that they must have everybody vaccinated and everybody chipped. 2030 is the goal by Gavi and MIT. Think about it.